How do you feel about American rioting?
So for me, and this is my opinion and my opinion only, I am not a fan of people burning stuff down, and I'm not a fan of looting at certain places. People keep sitting here talking about, well, that's material stuff, material things, but you cannot bring a life back. But I'm saying I understand that. Not, no one's talking about Dior. No one's talking about Gucci. I'm talking about the man and wife who are 70 something years old with a mom and pop shop, and y'all just burnt their shit down. That's the stuff I don't like, because they had that store since 1979 or something, and now it's burnt to the ground. And for you to just say, well, insurance will cover it. Okay, but do you know that their insurance will cover it? Was that a natural disaster? How do you know what kind of insurance they have? You don't know. So do not speak up as if you do know. Then they have to, if the place burnt down, you have to gut it. It's not like you can just paint over that. You have to gut it all out. Then you have to replenish what you have. Then you have to bring
Mhm.
in new stuff. Who has the money
Yeah,
for that? The
yeah,
places were already closed for 3 freaking months, just about.
Yeah, I was about to say, not to mention the recession due to COVID. Exactly.
So now
bruh.
they're sitting here with nothing. How are they paying their damn bills? How are they going to do all this other stuff? Because, oh, black, because, a black man was shot, so let me go burn down every fucking thing in my neighborhood. I said, the thing is, though, what people don't understand is this happened before with Martin Luther King. And look at H Street. H Street just started getting rebuilt in 2012. And that shit happened in the fucking 60s. And people who live in DC will tell you how that was a major mistake. Because those were mom and pop shops. Those were black owned businesses that all burnt the fuck down because the young people going down there and burning that shit down. And there was a big regret. And it never was the same ever since then. But people think they know so much. And then people in Ferguson keep telling people ever since all that rioting happened in Ferguson, they still haven't been the same. They still haven't been rebuilt. And it's been like 6 years since the Ferguson stuff. So you're telling me somebody has to sit there for 6 years with no game plan, no nothing? I said sometimes you have to think. No one's saying fuck a damn Target, fuck a Dior, but you're fucking with people's livelihoods. You're fucking with people's stuff that they've had forever that took them a long time to get there. And that's what I don't like. And that's the stuff that I keep getting into it with people on Facebook over, because they keep saying that doesn't matter to me. It doesn't matter. Oh. They can replenish. You can't bring a life back. Okay, well, you know what? You can't bring this person's job back for a long time. So if something happens to them and they end up homeless, or they lose this and they lose that, what are you going to do? You're sitting your ass over here in Washington, D.C. You're sitting your ass in California. You're sitting your ass in Florida, not doing shit for them, but running your mouth talking about they got insurance. I don't think people are thinking about other people like that. They're just thinking, all they keep thinking about is these high end places. No one's talking about that. And then you had this old lady on the damn news crying her damn eyes out because they burnt and looted everything in the damn neighborhood, and she don't got no fucking car, and the bus routes are not running. So what is she supposed to do now? All of a sudden, when they saw her on TV, and mind you, she's black, now everybody has a little different story they want to come up with. And that's all I got to say on that.
Anyone else want to go?
Well, if I
I'll go.
may, well, Fada, go ahead.
Go ahead. All right, I'll go. So, okay. So before I get to my point, I will preface this by saying I do not agree with the small business and looted and getting burned down to the ground. That's bullshit, and I'll never condone that. Now, on to the point. And what I'm going to say is very simple: burn it down. And I'm going to explain why. For 500 plus years, Black Americans have been subject to terroristic conditions in America and have just had a roller coaster of emotions ever since. A lot of shit they had to bottle down and just hold, and a lot of shit they literally had to riot in order to get fixed. This is one of those times. When the Martin Luther King riots happened, it led to the Civil Rights Act getting passed because they wasn't listening to peaceful protests. They were listening to boycotts, but boycotts took a long time. It took more than about 18 months, I believe. That's more than a year. So the boycotts worked, but it took a very long time for those boycotts to work. And honestly, let's be honest, people ain't about that life today. We not boycotting the shit today. We're not about that life. So obviously boycotting, we're not gonna do, even though it would be a very powerful political statement when it comes to the Black community. But we're not about that life. So a brother gets killed again. And not only just him, Breonna Taylor, Ahmaud Arbery, Sean Reed, and a few others get killed. They all circulate around the same time. And now we are at a predicament where we have all this fung anger, we have all this untreated trauma from 500 plus years of being under terroristic conditions in America, and you have a community that is so angry they literally don't know what to do with themselves. We did it the right way a whole couple times. Colin Kaepernick did it the right way. They got fired for it. A whole bunch of other Black people, we're told, do it the peaceful way, do it the right way, go vote. We did every single motherfucking thing these people ask us to do, and people still get gunned down in the streets. People still dying. The kids still getting sent out because their hair is not right. All this other shit that they say to do, and we still get killed. You could be on the floor with your hands up telling somebody, I have no gun, I work here, and you still get shot, and the cops say, I don't know. So now I'm asking people, what are we supposed to motherfucking do? We tried the peaceful shit. We tried every single thing that you could possibly imagine that they told us to do. We did, and we still get fucking killed. So at this point, I don't really care about people getting upset over their stores or whatever. It's empathetic, and I said it before. I'm not for that. I'm not for small businesses or Black businesses being burned down. We should leave those alone. But I have so much fucking anger and so much fucking rage built inside because of the conditioning of my people, not only in America, but also in Africa, the treatment of Africans in other places like the Middle East, which no one wants to fucking talk about, and also the treatment of Africans in China when the COVID-19 happened, the one that the fucking virus originated from, but we still refrain from calling it the China virus because we know white people's tactics and we know their motherfucking game plan to try and pit people over another. We didn't call it the Chinese virus. Trump called it the Chinese virus. We still call it COVID-19. But them motherfuckers still have the motherfucking gall and audacity to still find a way to blame African people at the end of the day. So right now, my sympathy is I have none left. I have no sympathy. I have no empathy. All I have left is rage and anger, and I'm entitled to feel this way because these people they keep fucking with my people. So I will reiterate again, I am not for the looting or the destruction of small businesses. But on the same breath, I'm going to say America needs to see the type of reaction that we can, and shit needs to get burned down, I guess, in order for them to listen. Because America listens when you are violent, unfortunately. The Boston Tea Party, the Revolutionary War, the Civil War, all that shit that America loves to pride itself with the guns and everything in the Second Amendment, all that shit that they love to pride themselves with. Oh, now they don't have that same energy when it's black. I don't give a fuck. Sit there, watch your motherfucking cities burn for the neglect of the people that spent 500 years of blood, sweat, and tears to build your motherfucking empire. You still kill them in the streets like a dog. I'm out of sympathy. And that's all I got to say.
Dion, you wanted to go next?
See, everything Xavier and Fada just said literally hits on everything when I was saying last week when we spoke about this. I don't condone it, but I understand it. See, I've been reading all kinds of stuff over the past week. I've seen photos of all these people who've been hurt and everything else in the midst of these riots, and it's just like, no, I, I'm going to keep saying this. I completely understand the anger. I completely understand the rage, but this no part of me can muster up anything, no type of energy, no type of words, nothing to promote any type of violence. I'm sorry. You can call me a pussy, whatever the fuck you want. I don't care. That's just that's just not me. I read a story about somebody who died trying to freaking defend their store, which I'm assuming was their only livelihood, their only source of income, whatever. When the riots kicked off, and again, I was just sad for that person.
And they try to make it a
I
black and white thing with that person too.
it
I'm like,
see
why?
that's not
It's a white man, and it's just so happens black people breaking into his shit. And what the fuck he's supposed to do? Sit there and just let you take his shit?
that's what I'm saying.
Fuck out of here.
Like everything in me wishes that none of this happened. You know, from the people who got killed that initially built up all this anger to the riots themselves. Like shit should not be like this. So now the $1 million question for for the powers that be is simply, what the hell are you gonna do? Because
What's
see,
the end game?
right, see, he- here's my thing, and Joshua, you heard me say this. Father, you heard me say this before. Villains are not born. Villains are created. So in not responding properly to these wrongful deaths, we have the monster we have now because law enforcement did not handle their shit like they were supposed to, and not just charging people when they do wrong, but again, some type of reform. Do something about how these cops are trained to handle, whatever situations they get into. You know what I'm saying? So that's my thing because I feel like if something were done to even if the shit didn't stop completely, if something was done to minimize the bullshit, you know. But now we have this crazy situation we have here because the police, the government, and whoever else is in charge or whatever did not do what they were supposed to do when these type of instances started. I'm not going to say started happening again because they all the names you mentioned before, those are just the names we know about. We don't know the the possible number of people who've been hurt or killed wrongfully by police, and the shit just doesn't get mentioned, doesn't get reported, whatever. There's a lot that we probably don't know about this shit. So by not